Morning, y'all. It is just a beautiful day out here. It ain't too hot yet. Got a call from Mama this morning. Or pretty late last night. Her and her boyfriend decided they were going to do some night fishing. They like to go down this one particular bridge and go fishing catfish. And they found us a forward deer. She called me pretty early this morning and she said, hey, night fishing last night, saw a deer. Didn't know it'd still be good. Well, without showing y'all too much of the bloody bits, where I can see, she's still good. So, I'm about to get to dressing this deer. And just the whole point of this video is going to be showing you, how, you can be blessed sometimes. I know times it's tight for everybody. I know they are for me. This is a bunch of suppers right here. Bunch of suppers. But let me get my old butcher knife. And we're about to dress us a deer. Alright, y'all. Ignore my dirty kitchen. This is your fair warning that if you don't like to look like the meat and stuff off an animal, might be time to turn the video off. But anyway, so this was not an ideal deer for roadkill deer. It absolutely wasn't. It had been gut ruptured. That being said, that doesn't mean it's ruined. You have to be really, really particular about it. About the meat that you get off these things. Anything that them ruptured guts has touched, you really don't want it. That's just how it is. You just want to leave that alone. So I didn't get the ribs. I didn't get none of the belly. I didn't get the butcher steak out the inside. If I'd have showed y'all that cut if it had been any good. But there's a cut inside that separates out the lungs and the heart from the rest of the guts. That cut is called the butcher steak. But the outer portions of the deer. This was a pretty small doe that had been hit. Felt real bad about it. It had some good udders on it, so it was, it was going to be a good breeding deer. But again, nobody, killed it. Nobody just chose to shoot it. It was just a, roadkill happens. Got all this grass and stuff on these haunches. I decided to ground dress it instead of hanging it up, and I should have hung it up, but either way. But you can see, the pile of meat that's right there. That is quite a lot. We ended up, we could save all 4 haunches. So I was just wanting to talk about the blessing of this meat. As I said earlier, that is going to be, this whole leg is going to be cut with a Boston butt. And let me tell you something, that's going to be a pile of hamburger meat right there. This other haunch, there's going to be some roast cut out of that, some steaks come out of that. We're going to take and do some jerky. We got the front legs too. And you can see I left these on here. I make stuff out of these hoof parts. Right. See, it's still got some ants on it. Have to deal with them. But I make things out of those. I take the bones out of these. I make jewelry out of the toe bones and the ankle bones. And I make knife handles out of you can hear that big old bone in there. But the rest of this, a lot of it will get ground up into ground meat. We like a lot of ground meat. We make a lot of like burgers, chili, and stuff like that. It's just me and my nephew living here. Like we eat a lot of like guy food, right? We managed to get some of the neck roasts off. This neck roast is what I would call a crock pot roast. It is not particularly pretty. But you could take that, put that in the crock pot with some cream of mushroom and maybe some chanterelles or something. Be awesome. And we did get the back straps. And let me tell you something. This is worth the whole thing right here. Look at this cut of meat. Look at how many medallion steaks are going to come out of that. I called my mama earlier to tell her it was a viable deer. We're going to take some of that back strap. We'll get that silver skin off the back of it. And we make these barbacoa tacos out of it. And me and her are already talking about that she wants barbacoa tacos. But this is just such a blessing. Times are hard. And, not everybody, this ain't for everybody. It is hard, nasty work with a roadkill deer. Dressing deer in general is nasty work, let me tell you. Old Hickory put in some work today. That's about a 120-year-old knife right there. Processed down this deer. It took me right at an hour to get all the pieces off of it, get it skint. These old things, they work good. But as for right now, I know y'all can see these, like, pieces of grass and dirt and stuff on them. I ain't worried about them right now. Because what I'll do is I'm about to take this plastic wrap right here and just wrap up every piece that I'm going to freeze. I have the other back strap and the other roast, which I need to take the other roast out. I just happen to stick it in there with it. In the fridge, we're going to have us some fresh back strap for supper tonight. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Probably just, eat it like steak, just doing the medallion steaks. But we're going to wrap it all up, these legs and everything included. And, got a little blood on me. Once we do that, stick them in the freezer. Whenever I get ready to process down like these big chunks, I'll just take it out the night before, stick it in the sink. Stick it in the sink, and it'll thaw for a while. All this stuff right here is completely dry. And it dries with almost like a glue-like texture onto the hair and little pieces of dirt and stuff. It's murder to get off there. To me, it's easier to take it out, go ahead and get to butchering it, and then whenever you get your pieces cut up the way you want them, to take and run them in hot water. And that loosens that glue up and makes it a much easier process to get it off. Sometimes what I'll do, I buy these sponges called Scrub Daddies, and I'll take and put that deer meat in warm water, get that glue kind of melt, and I'll scrub it down real good with just a sponge. No soap or nothing, obviously, but just the coarse side of a Sponge Daddy sponge takes that mess right off. But I'm going to put all this up, and this evening we're going to show y'all how we're going to cook it. So stick with us. Now y'all want to know something about me. I'd about rather clean out chicken houses than fool with plastic wrap. It aggravates me. I'm not good at it. But as you can see, we got her all wrapped up. And we're going to stick her in the freezer. So I just want to show y'all how it comes out. Like I said, we got two little neck roast off of her. This is a back strap. This is a doubled up back strap. Other back strap's in the refrigerator. I'm going to cut a chunk off of it and plastic wrap the rest of it. Freeze it and probably marinate it. I'm still deciding what I'm doing for supper. And of course these legs, they're aggravating to do this with, but you just want to make sure you got them airtight. It's a big thing. But here we go. This is what we're looking at. Alright y'all, next step, we're starting on supper. It's still about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've got that back strap cut into little bitty steak medallions. This is about half of one of the back straps. And this is in soy sauce, rice vinegar, minced garlic, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of black pepper. Going to do kind of a teriyaki steak thing with it. So stick with us. Alright y'all, the time has come. So these have been marinating. It is a little bit after 5, and I've had them marinating for since about 1:30. So you can marinate them for as long as you want. But I have my cast iron grill pan, because Lord knows I got enough different kinds of cast iron, and I got it pretty smoking hot. We want a good sear on these. That is another point that, like, people argue about this. I'm of the opinion that when you get the forward deer, when you're eating the roadkill, like, I'm confident eating this. I'm absolutely confident that this is good meat to eat, and it's alright. I'm also human, and humans make mistakes. I'm not going to eat this rare like I would a deer that I'd personally killed and knew was like as fresh could be. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to, anything off of a road deer, I cook all the way through. I don't do them rare. To me, it's just like, you know, why risk it? It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Am I going to be able to fit all these on here? As you can see, this is actually a little bit less than half of one of those back straps made in these little medallion steaks. This is going to be an awesome supper. We've made mashed potatoes with it. It being the Asian-inspired thing, you would have thought I'd done rice, but I don't know, it didn't feel like rice. Also, just to make it the cooking video, highly recommend this stuff. Kinder's prime steak seasoning, black garlic truffle. We're just gonna kind of hit it with that too. Me and my nephew are hooked on this mess. We like this one, and we like the buttery burger blend, if y'all are interested. But so I'm gonna grill us some steaks, and we'll be right back. Alright, y'all, I'm good and sweaty because I just got in from, I was selling a boat, and we had to air up tires and so much stuff. But just wanted to wrap up this video with a little teriyaki deer steak, backstrap steak taste here. And you just can't do no better than that. It's just being mindful, being careful. Don't be reckless about your decisions when you do stuff like this. That's a fine way to feed the family. So, I appreciate y'all joining me for this video. I'm going to fix me a plate. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.